How's everybody doing today? This is King Shit Talk. I am Salid. And first off, it's been a crazy week this week, y'all. Been busy with a whole lot of things, uh, seen a whole lot of things, talked about a whole lot of things, had a lot of interesting conversations with some friends of mine, some colleagues. And I guess first off, I want to say that there's been a lot of loss um, this week, this year, this month. I lost my brother in September to cancer. I've had some friends who've lost some family members, and I'm seeing a lot of things in the news and on media about loss that's been going on. So my condolences goes out to anyone that's lost someone close to them, all the people that have experienced loss and will continue to experience loss. It's a tough thing, but we just have to pray our own strength sometimes that we can get through these situations and these processes. Um, gonna also talk about some things that I've been seeing that deal with love and relationships. Um, I'm not gonna mention this one guy's name, but I've been seeing a lot of him on social media. Apparently, he had a situation with his wife, and that's been the big talk now with what's going on with that. We all have situations that go on with our relationships, whether it be co-workers, our personal relationships, friendships, and things. But normally, I'm seeing that the word love is attached to a lot of this stuff. And I think we need to dig a little deep into what love actually is, because it can be a lot of things, and people don't always believe that, and some people may disagree with me on that, but ride with me a little bit, and you may understand what I'm saying a little bit more. Now, the reason I say it can be a lot of things is because we tend to think we know what love is and what it looks like and what it feels like, but I'm gonna just for a quick second look up the definition of love, or at least what uh, Webster tells us love is. One second. Okay, now this is what Webster says love is. It's a strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal ties. It's also an attraction based on sexual desire, affection, and tenderness felt by lovers. It's also affection based on admiration, benevolence, or common interest. And it's also an assurance of affection, warm enthusiasm, or devotion. Now, with just that little bit, that tells us how vast this is. Because you can literally, some of the things that I just mentioned, you can literally get that from so many different areas. You can get that from an animal, you can get that from a stranger, you can get that from people that don't even know you exist. A lot of people have that deep admiration and that deep like and that sense of companionship from people they've never even met. So to think that, or rather when we see people in these situations that we may not deem as productive, positive, or fulfilling, that particular person can still feel like it is for them. That particular person can have all of this negative energy coming at them, but still say, I love you, or I'm in love with this person. And we see it a lot when it comes to abuse in many forms, whether it's physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse. You have it where a person can have these things done to them, and they stay, and you ask why, and they say because I love him or her, and it doesn't always look smart to the person that's not in it, but some things you really have to be in it to understand it. because it is possible to love a person that hurts you. Is it possible to hurt someone that you love? Yes, of course it is, because we aren't perfect. We all make mistakes, and sometimes what hurts them we may not really know or intend to hurt them, rather. Because I think if you know a person well enough, you know likes, dislikes, you know what hurts them, you know what makes them happy, you know what makes them sad. And for the most part, if you love that person, I don't think you'll purposely do those things. But that still doesn't mean that it's always going to work out that way. We have times when we can go into certain situations with a mindset for it to be one way and it goes another. And sometimes you're looked at as manipulative, if I said that correctly. Manipulation, you know what I mean. But you go into it, and they can feel like you did that. They can feel like you lied to them, you held back, you cheated on them, you lured them in until you got what you wanted. And sometimes that is true. And I think a big reason to why a lot of marriages don't work, a lot of relationships don't work, a lot of things crumble, is because sometimes we don't really take the time to understand what the person we want wants. And a lot of times we see something for our futures with people, or even our present, because it seems like a lot of times now people are just living day to day. They just want things right now, quick, fast, and in a hurry, microwave relationships, and they don't think about the long term. And that brings forth a lot of problems, because we like this person right now. We say, okay, this person is handsome or beautiful or sexy or smart, and we want to attach ourselves to them. And because we have that open heart and we have this idea of what we want the future to look like with them, we kind of lay that out there without totally and fully understanding if that's even what they desire. And now you do have those situations where you can lay it all out. You can tell a person, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, this is where I am right now in life. And they can say, okay, yeah, I want that too. And then you start building. But it behooves you to, even if that's the case, still take your time. Still gradually allow them to show you that that's what they want, and not just tell you that's what they want. Because we can say anything, but at the end of the day, no matter what you say, your actions will either match what you say, catch up to what you say, or reveal that what you said wasn't exactly what you wanted. And if we allow ourselves to do that and to be in that space, then we can also save heartache, save time, because we definitely can't get time back. And there are a lot of situations that could be avoided if we take those moments to do what we need to do as far as our homework and getting things the way we need to get them, and not always just only think about what we desire in that moment. Because a lot of times, and you guys know this, there are so many red flags that are shown that get erased until it's pitiful. We see them all the time. You know, a person can say, I love you, I want to be with you, and then you don't hear from them for a couple of days. Who does that? Who can actually desire someone, love someone, but not speak to them, not care to reach out to them, not respond when the person reaches out to them? As I've heard a lot of people say, nobody's that busy. And that's a bona fide fact. No one is that busy. You have also, let me get my lighting right, because I'm broadcasting in a lot of different areas, but you have people that say, I love you enough to leave you. And that may sound crazy, but there's some truth in that too. Because true love for a person won't allow you to hold them up, if that makes sense. I had a woman tell me before, she said, I love you to life, but if I'm not what you desire or what you need right now, just let me know, so that not only could she move on to more things, but it was to free me up as well. And to me, that's a different type of love. That's an admirable love, and that's a deep love. Can you imagine what it takes to tell someone you want to be with, if I'm not what you want, go be happy? And how many people can honestly say that they've been in a situation like that and they knew that they weren't right for the person, but they still wanted to hold on to them, or they still keep them locked up in that emotional prison, in that prison of love. Never, ever feel like because love is a broad thing that certain things should be accepted when connected to the idea of love. Because abuse is never, ever, ever something that I would tell somebody else they should accept because they love somebody. Because all types of abuse can be horrible for you in the long run, whether it's physical, emotional, verbal. All of it is a way to break you down. And if a person doesn't know that it's breaking you down, then there needs to be some serious conversations had, and there needs to be some thoughts had on whether you even need to stay with that person or not. Whether it's even conducive to your overall well-being. Putting hands on somebody, it's not okay. It's never okay. And I really want to drill this into the minds of our young people and men, especially. I mean, women hit and do that stuff too, but I'm seeing a whole lot of young men that are putting hands on women, and I don't know whether they're seeing it happen in their own homes, if they're being told that it's okay. I don't know, but it's a huge problem, a huge issue that we have in the community, with women not being protected, with women being used and abused and thrown away, with women being toyed with, played with, manipulated, beaten, talked down upon. It's a sick thing to see. And I've fallen victim to abusing women before, and not physically, but knowing that I'm doing something that hurts them is abuse as well. Having walls up and not totally giving myself to a woman that I know is totally giving herself to me, that's abuse as well. Understanding and knowing that a woman will do whatever you ask her to do, and you use that knowledge to get whatever you want, that's abuse as well. The list goes on and on and on. And you have to first be real with yourself before you can be real with somebody else. It's not a hard concept, but sometimes it can be a difficult action for some people. I guess it's just, I get to a point most times where I'll see something, or I'll talk to somebody about something, and my mind just goes in a million different directions with how they feel, what they want to convey, and things like that. And I'll give my input on it, and sometimes it's helpful, and sometimes it hurts the person. And it's not that I intentionally meant to hurt the person, but we hear all the time that the truth hurts. And that's a factual thing. Sometimes the truth does hurt. And it's the point of putting a mirror up for someone. Because if you put a mirror in front of someone and you're showing them some things that may be contributing to why they're in the positions that they're in, that can be a hurtful thing. It's embarrassing. Um, Sometimes it makes people feel like they aren't as mature or smart as they thought they were. And that's not always the case, because we have our weak moments. We have situations and times when we just fall victim to our emotions. We fall victim to love, in a sense. There have been times I've stayed in situations I should have gotten out of because I loved the person. I'm sure there have been times where people have stayed in relationship with me out of love for me when they could have, moved on and gotten out and grown and been happier. And some of the stuff is just trial and error. Some of it is how we're taught. Some of it is how we're raised. Some of it is just maturity, getting to a level where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's okay. But we have to come to a point when love is more of a reward versus a hindrance. Because everything that's attached to love isn't pretty, because it has to be mutual. And I've heard people say, oh, well, if love is there, then there's no bad that comes with love. Yes, it is. It really is. Because now if you're just to yourself and you love certain things, yeah, there's a piece in that. But try getting into a situation with somebody and you love them and they don't love you back. Or their idea of love is different than your idea of love. It's not always peaches and cream when it comes to that. There are so many different roads you can go down when you talk about love and relationship and just anything that connects you to somebody else. There's just so much that can go on with that. And the idea that we can do without one another is asinine. It truly is. I think we really need to get to a point where we study ourselves so that we can then study other people and get to know other people better and more deeply. Because that's the only way that I believe that love will be shown in the greatest of ways, and we will feel it for what it's supposed to be and not what we think it is. And stop allowing ourselves to be attached to these things that hurt us, and we erase that hurt or justify that hurt by attaching what we feel like love is to it. Because what are we teaching the next generation when we do that? And I'm talking to the men now. What are we teaching the next generation of boys and girls when we're showing them that love can also look like pain? When they see us abusing their mothers or talking down to their mothers or making their mothers cry, and then they see us come right behind it and say, I love you. They're going to think that's what love looks like. I don't think we show, at least from what I see or what I have seen, because it's different now, but from what I have seen, is we don't show enough of the compassion and the hugging or the connection, the pure connection with other people. We show a lot of selfishness. We show a lot of anger. We show a lot of hate toward others. And they see that. Other people see that. And you can feel that. You can feel that energy. There's podcast on another platform that I'll tell you guys about in closing, because I'm gonna make this particular thing that I'm talking about. I plan on having some guests come in, and I'm gonna reiterate what we're getting into today. I just want to come on and let you guys know a little bit about what was rolling around in my head on this Friday in November. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a podcast platform called Wisdom that I think you guys need to check out. There are three glorious queens that have a podcast on there. They're very intelligent, very open, very direct women. They go by the name of Zuri, Love, and Callie. They have a podcast called Vulnerably Naked. Please go on the Wisdom podcast app and check them out. It's amazing, mind blowing. You'll really enjoy it. That's what I have for today. You guys, please leave me comments, questions. Let me know what you want to hear about, what you want to discuss. There's a lot of things that we at Kingship Productions have on the way. If you have any hair, beard, things that you want to get taken care of as far as health, replenishment, growth, kingshipproductions.com. You can get it there. Writing services, podcasts, YouTube skits, plays, movies, short films. Go to www.kingshipproductions.com and check out what we have going on there. We have hand and body oils, tattoo oils, a whole lot of things that I think will be beneficial for you guys to check out. Until next time, peace out.